This is the Rossi 92 triple black rifle. This is going to be a initial impressions review. Really a good, bad, and ugly is the way I'm going to put it. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now first, before we get into it, I just want to point out that it is empty. There are no bullets in the tube, in the chamber. So, it is a lever action rifle from Rossi, chambered in .357 Magnum, and it will also shoot 38 Special and 38 plus P. It is a 16.5-inch barrel. It's got 6 grooves, alloy steel barrel, and wood stock. So it's got the big rifle loop there. As you can see, it's got some leather wrapped around. I've seen people say that this is paracord. That is not paracord, that is leather wrapping. So it's got this texturing, which is kind of nice looking. It's considered a black Cerakote. Probably not the best Cerakote I've seen. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you can see these scratches right here. Probably not because of this focusing deal, but I just simply brushed up against it with my Glock Talon grips, and it took a significant amount of the Cerakoting off and scratched it. So, 8 rounds it holds, and it looks pretty badass, I thought, which is why I got it. I kind of have a black theme going for my 2024 EDC, and this wasn't meant as a serious gun. This isn't like an SHTF or survival gun. This is a toy for me. Maybe a brush gun, maybe self-defense on the homestead. And the setup I thought was good. It looks good, it shoots good, fairly accurate once I got it dialed in. You can see it does have aluminum Picatinny rail on it, so you can put some accessories on it to make it modern, tactical, or steampunk, as everybody was kind of getting into about a year ago. Now, I'm not new to lever guns. I know this has been kind of a fad over the last year, but I got bit by the lever gun bug probably about 8 years ago and bought a bunch of Henrys. So all my lever guns are Henrys besides this one. This is my first Rossi. So we'll probably do some comparison videos eventually. But the good, I think, is definitely the setup. I like the ghost ring rear sights. That's what initially attracted me to it. We're going to talk about that in the bad here in a minute. It's got this brass front post there, kind of a classic lever action thing. An actual threaded barrel, so if you would have put a can on there, silencer, suppressor, whatever 8-up thing you want to hold on to lord yourself over other people. So it's got a kind of an interesting safety here. You can see that it's got this little lever here. Here's the red. And the interesting thing is, even with the safety on, it still drops the hammer. It just prevents the hammer from engaging the little notch to, hit the firing pin. So, this is a Romeo 5 red dot here, and then we have a Surefire Scout light mounted to it. Black leather strap, or sling, excuse me, with some rounds there in it, and then it's got a Beartooth Products cheek riser, because that red dot's a little high. So the good is that it looks good, it shoots good, it's accurate, and it definitely is very aesthetically pleasing. I mean, it just looks cool, right? The bad. So the bad ended up being what initially attracted me to the rifle. The ghost ring sight broke. Look at this. The little screw that tightens it on there stripped out the very first day. So I could not adjust the rear sights to gain the accuracy that I needed. So that is very, very bad. The very first thing that attracted me to the rifle was the first thing that broke. So I called Rossi customer service. Did you hear that? my Talon grips on my Glock rubbing up against it. I called customer service. They picked up after maybe 20 minutes, and after some him-hawing and thinking for a minute, they decided to send me rather, a replacement rear sight. So I'm going to have to replace this thing myself. So that was a couple of days ago, so I'll let you know if it comes in the mail. But yeah, so I can't use those sights right now, which is why we put the Romeo 5 on it. So that's one bad thing. Another bad thing, I was expecting higher quality in this price range. MSRP is around $1,000. I picked this up for around just under $850. A rifle in the $800 to $900 range, I would not expect to see a few things. Now, for example, this right here, loose. I don't know if you can hear that. This whole thing's loose. The whole thing's loose. This front sling mount here was sideways. I had to take a crescent wrench and turn it. And when I turned it, this whole thing loosened up. So then I had to tighten this screw down so the whole assembly wasn't loosey-goosey. Not what I would expect in the $800 to $900 range. None of my Henrys, including my, like $300 $400 Golden Boy or my HS series 22s, are higher quality than that. So definitely did not enjoy that. Again, we talked about how the Cerakote wasn't of the highest quality. That rear sight thing is really super annoying. And that's really it for the bad, I suppose. Another thing, too, is that the loading gate is super tight. Now, we probably ran around 200 rounds total through this so far, about 100 rounds of 357, 100 rounds of 38 special. This has not loosened up yet. It's very hard to get them in there. And then we also have had a couple of times where the action got hung up, and it wasn't due to short stroking or anything like that. I just don't think it prefers some of these soft point 357s. So that's the bad. There's some quality things. The broken sight, that's a non-starter out the gate. Now I'm just going to talk about the ugly. And the ugly is really no fault. Well, it kind of is the fault of the rifle. The ugly is that I did not intend to have this rifle. Okay, I have Henry big boys with scopes on them. I wanted a rifle that was stock, bare bones, with a sling only. I did not want to put an optic on this. I wanted a brush gun, a shorter barrel as compared to my other lever guns. And I just wanted something quick that I can mount up, use the sights as a brush gun, quick toy gun, homestead gun. This is not that gun. I did not want to put a cheek riser on it. I did not want to put a red dot optic on it, and I did not necessarily want to put a light on it. Although if I'm going to use it for, home defense, that's a good idea. But I didn't want that. It's nice the way it is. I like the way it turned out. Other than the bad we pointed out, this is very functional, but not what I initially intended. So. Again, maybe we'll come back and do some comparison videos to some of my Henrys. Overall, I do like it. I would not buy it again in that purchase range. Were it a $500 gun, I would still buy it, but not a $900 gun. But that's just my opinion, and I'm just a guy on the internet. Now, I will point out to you all, since I have not posted here for a while, that I am just an individual who buys these guns with his own money and then comes on here and gives you my opinion based off my experience. So I do not receive these guns for free. I am not a gun tuber sponsored where I receive money. I'm not even monetized. So keep that in mind that this is real. Just one man's opinion. And we'll see if I feel like coming back here and posting more. It would be nice to do a comparison to this and the Henry all-weather big boy, being that they're kind of in the same class. Yeah, maybe we'll come back and do that. Other than that, I hope this finds you all well. I know this is like a preparedness channel, and it's 2024, and it's total chaos, but I'll give you guys truth. I'm not so worried anymore. I'm not saying I'm not preparing. Preparedness is a basic form of lifestyle, but I don't post as much anymore because I've been in training and, quite frankly, doing a lot to get right with the Most High, because that's the ultimate form of preparedness. And once you get to a good state with that, you're almost confused when you go on some of these like prepper videos and see people panicking and scared. Especially if they're of faith, you shouldn't be scared. You should be, I guess, maybe not overjoyed, but at least confident that the plan is being carried out as planned. And that's it. Other than that, remember to stay prepared, because the more Americans that are prepared, the better.